Hey Killer Bees, it's Paula B from PaulaBFitness.com, and on tap today, it is Sunday Run Day. And you guys, we are covering some serious distance on our March to 10K. In fact, we're coming real close today because we are going 5 miles. Now don't worry about going too fast because today we are taking it at a walking pace. Today's workout is brought to you by my girl Hannah, who made a very generous monthly pledge over on Patreon.com to help out the Paula B Fitness channel. You know, it's donations like hers that help me make free workouts for all of us. And if you'd like to sponsor your own workout, there's a link in the description below. Hannah, thank you so much. You guys, when you are ready for today's workout, you know I'm ready. Let's go. All right, you guys, we are going to get right to it. Now, as promised, we are taking today at a nice walking pace, which means that we can take this first little section at whatever pace you need to warm up. And yes, I said section. Let's go ahead and get moving, and I'm going to tell you all about it. Now, I've got my handy dandy gym boss on me today, and I've got it set for really nice long intervals. Today's workout is not like a formal walking, running kind of workout. What I've got is my timer set for 3 minutes. And what we're going to do every 3 minutes is a handful of a couple of different exercises that I've got. Basically just to break things up. You know, when we're going on a long walk like this, I really like mentally to just kind of break things up and have something else to look forward to. And for me, weirdly, that's something that I always look forward to is my timer beeping. I know, I have weird things that I look forward to, but here's the deal. I've got a handful of just body weight exercises that are gonna kind of move our body in different ways, and I'm not even really gonna try and count how many we do. We're going to do some. Some of the exercises are going to be easier than others. Some of them you might want to do for, a certain length of time, but it's not necessary to count and do, 10 or 20 or whatever. Basically, we're just moving and grooving today, and we're going to move our body in different ways to make sure that we can get through this 5 miles. So dude, let's talk about that, shall we? 5 miles, kind of a big deal, right? And that's exactly why we're taking it at this brisk walking pace. 5 miles is a long time. What I'm aiming for us today is approximately a 15-minute mile. Now, a 15-minute mile is not slow. Let me tell you something. That's a really good, quick pace. It is, as my friend Maureen puts it, a wog. It's not quite a jog, but it's definitely more than a walk. So what we're doing is we got our arms moving, we got our legs moving. This is nice and low impact, but we're giving it a good hustle the whole time. That's part of the reason why we're doing some of those other exercises too. This is going to get tough moving in this same direction for what's going to be a little over an hour to get through 5 miles. So I wanted to make sure that we've got just a little something else. First of all, to take our mind off of it, and second of all, to make sure that your calves don't get too stiff, that your shoulders don't get too stiff, that your knees don't start to ache. I just wanted to make sure that we've got something else going on. So what we're thinking about right now really is just warming up. I did not do any kind of a formal warm-up before this workout today, and a lot of the exercises that I've got us doing are kind of dynamic warm-up, meaning that we're working on mobility. If at any time in between the beeps you really feel like you need to take a break, need to do some arm circles or move around in a different way, you are always welcome to do so. Let's go ahead and do a couple of squats. Ooh, just come on down, feeling those hips, feeling those knees, feeling those ankles. Again, I'm not counting, we're just doing some. All right, and let's go ahead and get right back to it. And in fact, you can take it at a little bit brisker pace for a little while. That's something else I'm kind of thinking about doing today, is taking it at a couple of different paces. So we can go slower and then faster for a while and then back to slower. It's nice to kind of, gives your body a little something different to do so that your muscles don't get too messed up by doing one thing for too long. We are going to be doing one thing a lot of times, but I do want to make sure that you feel comfortable while we're working out today. So I want you to take it at a pace that you feel like you can sustain at least until the next beep. That's kind of what I'm thinking about doing, is having a couple of different intervals where we're going a little bit faster. So this one's a little bit faster, really getting my heart rate up. You know, that is our goal today. Getting that heart rate up, moving and grooving. Over the course of 5 miles, you guys, we're gonna be burning about 500 calories today. That is a big workout. Let me tell you, in case you didn't already know, that's kind of a big deal. Now, if you have not gone 5 miles before, let me tell you something about indoor walking, jogging, and running workouts. There is literally no way to tell exactly how far we're going. So you might, if you've got some kind of a step counter, you might go farther, you might go less. It really kind of depends on what kind of pace, how fast you can move your feet, how fast you're moving your arms. It's always kind of an estimate anyways. Most people will tell you that 2,000 steps is considered a mile. That really depends on how tall you are, how long your stride is, and how fast you're moving with that stride. 2,000 steps is a great average, but you might take more steps over a mile, you might take fewer steps over a mile. What we're doing today, we're just moving and enjoying the movement. And that's really my biggest goal for the day, is just to enjoy ourselves while we're out here walking, jogging, wogging, doing some squats, doing some other kind of exercises, just moving. You know, that's pretty much my big philosophy about exercise, if you'd like to start talking philosophy so early in the workout. But my philosophy for exercise is that it's not, I know that we want to burn calories, but it's not really about the calories or the fat burning. And then here we go again with some side reaches. Whoo, nice and big. Oh, that feels so nice. What a beautiful stretch. I could do this all day. Oh, but we're gonna get back to it. All right, we're just doing a few of each, like I said. Now I'm taking this at an even more brisk pace. I didn't really do that on purpose. I'm taking this at an even more brisk pace right now, and it'll probably slow down before it beeps the next time. But so back to my philosophy. My philosophy on exercise is that it should always feel good. It should always feel, well, okay, pleasurable is kind of a strong word because sometimes workouts are really tough, but it should feel like an accomplishment, like something you do out of joy, out of pleasure, because you love your body, not because you're trying to punish it. You're not just trying to burn calories, I hope. I hope for your sake. Sometimes it is about calories. If you've got weight loss goals, we are thinking about calories. But really, this kind of movement, this kind of chugging along, I love this particular kind of movement because it feels, even when I'm standing in my living room, it feels like I'm going somewhere. And that to me is very pleasurable, to just be able to move my body in a way that feels challenging, but kind of, I don't want to say comfortable, but this is not super difficult, or at least yet. It will be, don't you worry, it totally will be. That's kind of the whole reason why we're doing this today, is to really challenge ourselves, to push ourselves a little bit further and maybe faster than you've gone before. I've got my heart rate up, starting to feel good, so now is when I really start thinking about how I'm breathing and how my body is moving. One of the things that I like to think about when I'm walking or jogging or running is the rhythm of it. Breathing in rhythmically, moving my arms rhythmically, moving my feet rhythmically. I'm really getting my knees up today, I just noticed. And in fact, that's gonna be our next exercise. When it beeps again, we're gonna do some actual high knees. But I've already kind of got them marching a little bit. You are welcome to be, I know sometimes when I walk or run indoors, my feet actually kick up behind me a little bit more than they do right here. You are welcome to do whatever kind of a gait feels natural to you. It should feel comfortable, and you don't have to be barefoot like I am. If you're wearing shoes, it should feel, or if you're barefoot, it should feel comfortable. Your body should feel like it's moving more or less naturally. Again, I know it's not super natural to just stand in one place and be moving like this, but it shouldn't feel especially jarring or painful on your feet. And here we go with high knees. I'm taking this kind of slow, really thinking about bringing that knee all the way up to my chest. Whew, pull in that core, kind of squeezing from the glutes, pulling in those abs. Something else I could do all day, but you know what? We're getting back to it. We're getting right back to that rhythm. Hopefully you've got some kind of music on in the background for you today. It's one of my favorite things about walking, jogging, or running. I love to listen to music. I was thinking about that this morning, actually. One of the reasons that I love running so much is because I listen to my headphones. And it's a nice time for me to just kind of get lost in the rhythm, lost in the music. I've always got good, happy songs on my playlist. Well, I say happy, actually. Some of them are kind of angry songs, but they're very up-tempo. They're not very slow. They're not calming songs. They're very, to me, they bring me up. They bring my heart rate up, bring my thoughts up, bring my feet moving faster. It's one of the reasons why I like to go for a run when it's daytime, so that I can wear headphones a little bit safely. I still have to be careful of traffic. If you are out of the doors, make sure that you're paying attention to other people, cars, bicycles. You know, everybody else around you wants you to be aware of your surroundings. So being really careful about that is important, especially if you're going someplace that's pretty busy. I try to avoid the worst of the traffic in my town by running at off hours and trying not to run on very busy streets. Hard to avoid though sometimes. How's your breathing doing? You feeling good? When it beeps again, and it's going to, we're going to do some front kicks. And that's exactly what it sounds like. We're going to bring that knee up again, real high, and just give some good kicks. These do not need to be powerful. Again, this is much more about like a dynamic movement, warm-up feeling, just breaking up the rhythm of our WOG here. So we're going to do some big front kicks, kind of like a low-impact kickboxing type of move. Just a few of them, and then we're going to get right back to it. This is feeling good. You feeling nice and warmed up now? Heart rate has totally come up, starting to sweat, starting to feel strong. Really got those arms and legs pumping. Awesome. If you're ready for it, you can take this up a notch. You know, I call things a certain type of workout. Today I called it a walking workout. But if you are at the point where you're thinking about doing some running intervals, and then here we go with those front kicks. Boom. Nice and big. Almost get a little bit of a lean back there. Oh, feel that stretch on your hamstrings. Goodness, this is not something I could do all day. And right back to it. You know, all those other ones, they felt real nice. That front kick kind of felt like work. But what I was saying, if you are at the point in your walking, jogging, running journey where you're kind of thinking about doing some running, pick it on up. That's another reason why I have the timer on today. You know, it's nice to just have a little reminder, a little something that says it's okay to do something else. So that way, if you're kind of feeling it, but you're a little bit nervous about how long you could truly sustain any kind of a running motion, well, you know you're not going to go longer than 3 minutes before you hear another beep. And that other beep gives you permission to slow it back down to a walk, or gives you permission to go for another 3 minutes. It's totally up to you. You know, this is your workout. That's one of the things I like to say for all of my workouts. I'd like them all to be very modifiable, to meet you where you are in your fitness journey. Everybody comes to fitness from a different place. You know, I didn't come to fitness until I was in my 30s, my late 30s, as a matter of fact. I had been kind of active, kind of off and on, but I'd never really done anything regularly. I'd never done anything with real pleasure. At most, I think, oh goodness, I had joined so many gyms in my adult life. I think the longest I had ever gone to a gym and like worked out was maybe a year, maybe. And that was when I was pretty young, like in my 20s. So for me, in my late 30s, to suddenly discover that I loved exercising, that it was totally something that I could do every day, that was really exciting. But I also had 30 plus years of not being real active behind me. It took me a long time to really get into my stride as an athlete. And I mean, to literally get into my stride with walking and running. And I started with walking. You know, I credit walking with keeping me sane and really getting me primed and in condition for all the other things that I was capable of doing afterwards. I had been walking and not doing anything else for 9 months before I started running. And I had been running for a while before I really started doing any kind of strength training or core work. And then here we go with rainbow jacks. Oh my goodness, I had to figure out what I was doing with my body. Speaking of getting into a rhythm, bringing up that knee out to the side. Oh, it feels good to pick your arms up over your head, huh? I know, we've got a couple of these where we get to have our arms up over our head, but oh, that brings your heart rate up, doesn't it? It feels good to stretch, but it also feels like, oh, I had my heart rate at a really manageable level, and that just really took it up a notch. So if you need to go a little bit slower, for just a little bit, that's totally okay. But wherever you are on your fitness journey, you know, this isn't where you're going to be forever. And it is what it is. You know, there were plenty of times when I first got started, I was just so frustrated. I'm an impatient person. I get frustrated pretty easily, actually. But I was so frustrated with where I was and what wasn't happening fast enough. You know, when I was walking, I wasn't losing weight. Well, I probably did a little bit. I look back now and I think I wasn't looking for results. I was looking to just lose weight on the scale. And I wasn't really looking for any other kind of results. I probably shaped my body a little bit. I know for sure that I built up some cardiovascular endurance. I mean, you can't help but build up your heart and lungs when you're walking every single day. And I was walking at a pretty decent pace. But I wasn't looking for that. And that was the problem. I was frustrated by not getting anywhere. In spite of walking every day, I wasn't getting anywhere. So I totally understand if maybe things are moving kind of slowly for you on your journey. And I want you to know that that happens sometimes. There will be long periods of time in your life where things don't really seem like they're moving. But if you are moving, I promise things are changing. Things are changing whether you want them to or not. Like the way I was building up cardiovascular endurance. I certainly wasn't trying to, and that was definitely not my goal, but it was happening anyway. Your body is making adaptations. I was gonna say right now. It's not making adaptations right now. When you are finished with this workout, even if this was an easy workout for you or a hard workout for you, you are changing your body by doing it. Your body takes everything that you do and it figures out what it might need to do next. Your body is an amazing machine. I think I say that like literally every time we have one of these walking, jogging, running workouts. But it truly is amazing what your body is capable of. I was just looking at my whiteboard here. We're going to be doing a squat with some side kicks the next time it beeps. And I think it's going to beep here pretty soon. Hey, look at that! Squat, and oh, a little bit of balance when it's hard to balance. And side kick. Only going over as far as you can. Wherever you can get to is totally fine. Whew, and maybe just one more on each side. Right there, and there, and right back to it. Ooh, look at that. Okay, this actually feels pretty good to pick it up a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. I'm gonna count because you know what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, that was it. Hey, you guys, we're already more than a mile into our day. Oh, check us out. That is super cool. I love walking, jogging, running workouts because, especially when I'm just yammering like I do, it kind of feels like time is going a little bit quicker. Even if this is a tough workout, it feels like it's manageable, like it's doable. When you've got some company, you've got something else that's not just your voice in your head going, this hurts, this is hard, I can't breathe. We hear enough of that in our daily life. This hurts, this is hard. This doesn't need to be one of those times. But back to your body as an amazing machine, because it is. It's an amazing machine. Your body takes everything that you are doing, everything that you're eating, everything that you are sitting, everything that you are active, all of the different parts, how often you sleep, how much water you drink, and it's always trying to, not second guess you, but it's always trying to figure out what's the most efficient thing I can do with this. So, excuse me, when you are not drinking enough, your body really tries to figure out how to be efficient with it. And I will tell you, I started with that one very specifically because dehydration is actually something that your body cannot adapt to. Your body can adapt to extreme cold, extreme heat, eating too much, eating too little. Not drinking enough, chronically not drinking enough, your body cannot adapt to. That's how important water is. Your body needs water, and when you don't give it enough water every day, not just like one day, once in a while, but regularly, if you are chronically even a little bit dehydrated, your body is shutting down external functions. And let me tell you what happens when your body shuts down external functions. Oh, it starts storing fat, and it doesn't burn fat, because that is one of the external functions that your body does not think is important. That's why one of the very first tips that most trainers will tell you if you want to lose weight, start drinking a little bit more water. Oh my goodness, it was 3 minutes. Let's do some booty kickers. Oh, that feels good, doesn't it? Oh my gosh, that stretch. I didn't realize how tight my quads had gotten. That feels good. This is something I could do all day, but you know what? We're gonna get back to it. There's a lot of these exercises that I would love to be doing for much longer intervals, but no, we're getting right back to our WOG because guys, we are really making some progress here. This is starting to feel real good, isn't it? I am loving this Sunday Run Day thing that I got going on this month on the March to 10K. And in case you've been following along, now, these jumps in distance might be a little bit much for where you are on your fitness journey. We started with that 3 miles. Last week it was 4 miles. This week it's 5 miles. You know what's coming next week. It's the end of the month and we've been marching to 10K. I want you to know that these videos are going to be here for you forever. So if you are not ready to go running for 6.2 miles next weekend, which is what we're going to be doing on the Sunday Run Day, it's totally okay. Spend some time on this WOG. Spend some time at the lower distances. Go back and forth. Sometimes do more distance, sometimes do less. You don't have to progress in a linear manner to be making progress. Your body very rarely makes progress in a linear manner. Sometimes it'll make huge adaptations, seemingly overnight. And sometimes you'll go months without seeing any kind of anything. Like we were talking about before though, your body is doing stuff behind the scenes. So getting back to that adaptation and trying to do everything efficiently. This is why it takes so long sometimes for your body to lose weight. And conversely, I know that we don't try to gain weight very often, but it's actually why you don't, when you have that weekend where you're like, oh my God, I had pizza, I had cake. It was a crazy weekend. And yet it doesn't show up on the scale, or it shows up just a little teeny tiny bit. Well, your body wants to stay the same. It wants to make adaptations based on the things that you are doing all the time. That's why it takes a long time to even start losing weight. Your body has expectations for how much you're eating. And when you start eating less, it's like, well, let's just see what's going on here before I, start burning any fat, because we might go back to that, and therefore we want to stay the same. I know, like your body talks about you in third person. But for our purposes today, let's pretend like it does. Like your body is a separate entity from your mind. Your body is thinking its own thoughts. It wants to stay the same. It wants to make adaptations. So it takes a while before it starts making changes. And then here we go with, Drinky Bird Jacks. Oh yeah. I knew that one was gonna feel tight. Hands up again. Whoo, coming down into that Drinky Bird, nice big stretch. Let's do just one more on each side. And then right back to it. Excellent. Oh, look at that. Okay, I'm feeling good. I kind of picked up my pace a little bit. Hopefully you're feeling good too, feeling like picking up your pace. If you are feeling like you need to take a little bit of a break and pull it down a little bit, that's okay too. You guys. Okay, I'm looking at my whiteboard again. So we are probably about 1.5 miles in at this point. How cool is that? That's starting to feel like we're really getting something done today, huh? So I'm gonna actually read right now. Okay, the next time it beeps, we probably got like 2 more minutes at least, but the next time it beeps, we're gonna do something I call double knees. It's another one of my low impact cardio moves. I've got lots of those. I love to work out without jumping. So the next one is double knees, and what that means is basically a high knee, except we're gonna have hands overhead, bringing one knee up 2 times in a row, and then switching sides, the other knee up 2 times in a row. Whoo-wee. You are doing such a good job. Look at us just chugging along. I'm starting to feel like the little engine that could, huh? This is a great time to kind of do a little bit of a check-in. How's your body feeling? You know, I didn't mention it, but we've been talking about dehydration. Anytime you feel like you need to take a half a second break and get something to drink, please do. This is a long workout. I don't want you pushing through and then getting to the end and being super dehydrated. So take your time, walk across the room, grab something to drink, maybe have it with you, have it on a table nearby, pause the video, that's okay too. It doesn't matter how long this takes you, we're still covering the distance. Even if you pause the video, we're still covering the distance if you get all the way through to the end. I get comments about that all the time on my channel and on Facebook. I had to pause, and then I came back to it, and am I still getting the same benefit? And I will tell you, yes, you are. Sometimes, like on a cardio workout, if your heart rate comes down while you're taking that break, it takes a little bit to get your heart rate back up. Maybe you've missed a tiny bit of the cardiovascular endurance adaptations that your body might make, but not nearly as much as you would miss if you kept pushing through and then had to stop the workout before you were done. So I will always encourage you, pause when you need to pause, take breaks when you need to take breaks, modify when you need to modify, double knees. I'm glad I said that out loud, otherwise I'd be trying to read my whiteboard right now. Double knees, I'm going at a pretty gentle pace here. Just trying to stretch out my shoulders, and then last one right over here, and then right back to it. Awesome, I know I'm starting to sing. That's where we are in the workout, the point where Paula starts to sing. This is why I hope maybe you have some music on in the background so you don't have to hear me singing. Really feeling that rhythm in your feet, feeling that rhythm in your breathing. Hopefully everything has kind of relaxed and is feeling really good now. There's a point in every walk, jog, or run that I do, and it's usually somewhere near the halfway point where I realize that my body has kind of let go of a lot of tension. I start every day, but I start every run, every walk a little bit stiff. Even if I do a great, thorough warm-up, every time I get moving, something's a little bit creaky or cranky. I've always got something in my hip, something in my knee, something in my ankles. Didn't used to, that's a somewhat recent, late 40s kind of thing. But I realize that after a mile or so, sometimes it takes me as many as 3 or 4 miles, unfortunately, but after at least a mile, that my body starts to let go of tension, that my shoulders relax a little bit as the endorphins start to kick in. The more I sweat, the better I feel. My knees kind of work themselves out. My ankles work themselves out. My toes, my feet, they work themselves out. This is my favorite part of a walk, jog, or run. That sweet spot, usually right in the middle. And then there will come another point later where you start to feel not as good. Again, it's like that bell curve, you know, where you start off feeling kind of low and then you feel great. And then it kind of starts to get tough again. Especially if this is the first time that you've gone this kind of time, this kind of distance. By the time we get to the end, it's going to be real work. And that's okay. That's what I'm here for. To hang out with you and help you push through. The next time it beeps, I know we've still got some time. But I have to think about this. So this is something that's going to take a little bit of coordination on my part. It's something called box steps. That's an old aerobic move. So we're going to step forward and side and back and together, I think. I have to think about this. This is where I'm not super coordinated. So we're going to take just a couple of box steps, changing leader feet. So forward, side, back, and then forward, side, and back the other way. This is exactly why I am not an aerobics instructor. Too much coordination for me. So forward, side, back, and back. Forward, side, back, and back. Oh, doesn't that feel good to get a little bit of lateral motion? Moving those hips in just a little bit different way. And this will be the last one, and back, and oh my goodness, right back to it. Doing really good. Okay, so now I know when we're doing something that's a little bit tough to coordinate. That means to me that we've gotten really low on my list. And so here's what I did today. I've got this list, and we're gonna go through it twice. So the fact that we are almost all the way through it once means that we are just about halfway, and that is really exciting. That means that you are probably, we're probably at least, I keep hitting my elbow on the wall, we are probably at least 2, maybe even 2.5 miles in at this point, and that means that we are in that sweet spot. How are you feeling about maybe picking up the pace a little bit? Maybe going a little bit more joggy than walky? That's okay. You know, you can expect that your energy is going to wane a little bit by the end of our workout. If this is the first time, especially if this is the first time or the first couple of times that you've done this sort of distance, or if it's been a while since you've done this sort of distance or this sort of time. And that's totally okay. You know, your body is really only meant to be active for about an hour, more or less. Here's what your body does. Your body actually, in addition to storing fat for energy, your body actually stores what they call it's a glycose store. And they store it in your muscles. And it's kind of a sugar, basically. It's just energy. It's energy that's prepared to be given out at any one time. Glycogen stores. I knew I was saying that wrong. So your body holds on to this little bit of sugar that can last you just about an hour. So anything over an hour, and that's more or less. Every body is different. The more you train, the different your body will react. But more or less, an hour is about as much energy as your body has stored. And that's why, once you get to that just about an hour mark, you start to feel kind of tired. I mean, your body really only wants to do so much work in a day, and so much work at a time. Your body's prime directive is to stay safe, stay alive. So it knows that if you go too far, too long, too whatever, that eventually it's gonna just poop out and be all done. So it starts sending you signals near about an hour where maybe you start getting hungry, start getting tired, start feeling a little bit off, not quite right. That's why on this workout today, by the time we are done, you're probably gonna be feeling it. We're gonna do some side shuffles. Ooh, doesn't that feel good? That lateral motion again. Oh, I love it. Speaking of something I could do all day long, feels really nice to stretch out those legs to the side. But here we go right back to it. Awesome job. You guys, the next time it beeps is the last thing on my list. And that means that we are just about 2.5 miles in. We're gonna go through the list one more time, and I'm gonna start from the top Again, which means we get to do those kind of easier things. But that also means that we get to finish on a really high note when we're all done here. So the next thing that we're going to do, the next time it beeps, a little bit of balance work, because that's not challenging enough on a regular day. A little bit of balance work in the form of flying fast ups. So we'll balance on one side, put your hands over your head, and we're going to tip forward just a little tiny bit. Bring our hands to our knees while we're bringing our knee to our hands, and then back out into that flying position. And we'll just do a couple on each side, just like we've been doing. Excellent job. You've got a real nice pace going on, feeling really good with this walking, jogging pace, keeping up a real even effort. We're going kind of up and down on pace, but overall is the effort that I'm looking at. At any given time, you might have one or two steps that's like a little bit faster because you just, you're feeling it, you're really into it. Or one or two steps that are a little bit slower if I'm trying to read my whiteboard. I know I'm slowing down when I do that. But overall, these intervals, nice and smooth. Overall, your pace for the day. We're looking for something nice and smooth. We're really looking to make sure that you've got enough energy to sustain the whole thing. It might mean that we're slowing down a little bit by the time we get to mile 4 and mile 5, but that's okay because right here in that sweet spot in the middle, we were just talking about this. This feels pretty good. We're going at a nice clip, feeling good, feeling confident, standing up nice and tall, keeping your shoulders back. Good form. Really essential. I know it's kind of funny. You think to yourself, okay, I'm just walking. What's good form about that? But I will tell you that the more tired you get, the more you will notice when your form is off on your walk. You will notice that your shoulders are kind of hunching forward and that you're kind of having a harder time moving your hands, or that you're shuffling your feet a little bit. That's your body telling you that it's getting tired. But good form for walking takes the pressure off of your feet, takes the pressure off of your hips by standing up nice and tall. Let your shoulders come back just a little bit so that you can take a nice deep breath while we're moving. And here we go with flying fast ups. Just a couple of them on each side, good balance. And last one here, switch sides. Awesome. Oh, that feels good. And then here we go, right back to it, you guys. We are halfway done. That's exciting. If we're doing something that I call an out and back, meaning that you leave your house or whatever, you go out a certain distance, but then you do have to get back home. So you come back. Well, you guys, we would be on the back portion now. And I will tell you, I've been running for many, many years, and I love an out and back run. Because on the way back, all you have to do is get home. And that actually is a very different place to be mentally than going out. We are now heading back home. We're on that home stretch. Yes, we still have, almost half of the workout in front of us, but it's the second half. That means we got the hard part over with. Now we can relax into it, feel confident, feel like we're getting on our way home. Taking good deep breaths. If you need a water break, now's a great time to take a water break. When it beeps again, and it will here in like a minute and a half or so, we're gonna do squats. Again, I have a feeling that's gonna feel both really good and really tough at this point. We've been doing this for a while now. It's gonna be hard to get that booty down, down, down. And that's part of the magic of this workout today. I really wanted, like I said, to kind of break this up and move your body in different ways. Doing a couple of squats, not really building a ton of muscle, but it's not really about that. It is much more about giving your body a little bit of a break. Much as I love walking and jogging and running, it is a very repetitive activity. And as such, it really lends itself to what they call repetitive stress injuries, meaning that doing the same thing over and over and over. This is how you get like carpal tunnel. This is how you get sprains and strains sometimes. It's not necessarily that you've done something, dramatic It's that you're doing the exact same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And there's only so much your body can handle that. So in a small way during this workout, doing something different, moving your muscles differently, moving your joints differently, getting those ligaments and tendons to stretch differently and go differently. It's just a nice way to not be so repetitive. Again, if this is maybe the first time you've gone this kind of distance, your body doesn't really know what to make of it. Let's do those squats. Oh, yeah, that's, whew. I could take a few minutes in between each of these. This is why we're not doing a ton of them, but boy, we are trying to get low, low, low. Really giving those ankles a good stretch, giving those hips, oh, a good stretch. And then here we go, right back to it. Awesome. Very nice job. You know, I don't often stop to squat in the middle of my running or jogging workouts, but that really did feel kind of good, didn't it? You know, your muscles are certainly warmed up now. This is actually kind of a good time to do some body weight strength training like that. If you want to, you are welcome to take a little bit longer break doing some of these body weight exercises. That's okay with me. You know, the duration of this workout is such that doing a little bit here, a little bit there, or a lot more here or there, you know, we're still burning a ton of calories. We're still getting a great workout. Anything that you're doing for this duration, honestly, is a great workout. I'm super proud of you. We are well over halfway done at this point, and you are staying strong. You know, that can be one of the toughest things about this kind of a length of a workout. It's not necessarily that your body gets tired, because I mean, your body's going to get tired. But sometimes your mind gets a little bit tired too. And that's something that actually, even after all these years of running, that's something that I still kind of struggle with on some runs. And I will tell you what I've learned about that. I will tell you that it's not that you're not mentally strong. You are. 9 times out of 10, it's actually a fueling issue. It's your body's way of saying, not, oh, this is hard and you can't do it. It's your body's way of saying, hey, I'm getting tired. I need some water. I probably need some electrolyte replacement, and I bet you I need some calories. This kind of duration of a walk, jog, run takes a lot out of your body. 500 calories is a lot. For most people, not most people, that's not a fair thing to say. For a lot of people, for people who are actively trying to lose weight, that's almost a third of your daily calories that we're burning right here in an hour. That's a lot, a third, more or less. You might eat more, you might eat less, totally depends on your age, your current activity level, what you're trying to lose, all those kinds of things. That's why I tried not to say most people. Most people doesn't apply. Everybody on their own weight loss journey has their own number of calories that they need to be taking in order to lose weight. And here we go with side reaches. Oh, doesn't that feel good? What a nice stretch. Excellent. Oh, I could do that all day, but we're just going to do one more here and one more here. And there we go. There we go again. Good job. Oh my gosh, that felt nice, didn't it? But so as you are burning 500 calories, more or less. Again, gosh, speaking of estimates, you know, if I get one question every single day, all the time, on all of my videos, it's, how many calories does this burn? And I will tell you, I don't know. And it's not because I don't know. It's because your body is burning your very unique number of calories. And even if your specific body did that workout today and tomorrow and the next day, you would probably burn a different number of calories on those 3 different days. And here's why. On the first day, especially if it's a tough workout like this one, nice long, tough workout. Well, on the first day, you probably have more energy. So you're probably gonna burn more because you're taking it a little bit more intensely. On the second day, if you were to do this exact same workout again, well, you'd be tired from yesterday. And it depends on how well you recovered from yesterday. Did you drink enough water afterwards? Did you get enough calories afterwards? Did you eat enough protein to help your muscles build? Did you sleep well last night? You're not quite as rested maybe as you were yesterday. So you will probably burn fewer calories on the second day because of the less intensity and because your body's not operating quite at peak efficiency if you didn't have enough to drink or you didn't sleep as well. On the third day, that could be compounded again if you did not drink enough water afterwards or did not sleep enough afterwards, or after 2 days of really good hard workouts, you're kind of exhausted. Well, that third day, of course, you're not going to be able to take it at the same intensity because you're on day 3. Mentally, that would be hard. Physically, that would be hard. So you're going to burn fewer calories. And the number of calories you burn is always an estimate. And it's based on your intensity, like we just talked about, and your current weight. There's some good rough estimates that you can make based on how intensely you're moving and your current weight. Some of it depends on your fitness, and like we just talked about, some of it depends on how much water you had, how well you slept, how well you've eaten. There's a lot of factors that really go into how many calories you're burning. When it beeps again, we're going to do some nice slow high knees, really get a nice stretch on the back of our legs. Oh, right there. Very nice. I'm pulling mine up. At this point, I need a little bit of help with that. My core starting to get a little bit tired, and I really just want to feel that stretch. And I can pull my knee a little bit higher when I pull it with my hands. Last one right here, and right back to it. Awesome. So when you are estimating calories, well, the other thing that depends on, for example, if you are my age, my weight, my everything, basically, but you're not as fit as I am. I've been running for 10 years. This workout, not super difficult for me. It's tough, I'm sweating. It's a hard workout, but it's not as tough for me as other kinds of workouts. My body has made lots of adaptations to this kind of movement. Walking, jogging, running. This is something I do all the time. So even if you are the same size as me, working at the same intensity as me, if this particular exercise is not something that you've made adaptations to, you will burn way more calories than I will. My body has already become very efficient at this particular movement. If your body is not efficient at a movement, it's going to expend a lot of calories trying to figure out what you're doing. But once you become better at it, more efficient at it, you've been doing something consistently, your body starts burning fewer calories. This is how sometimes we get into a weight loss plateau, actually. Even if you are continuing to work out, pretty strenuously, you feel sweaty, you feel like your heart rate comes up. If you're doing the same types of workouts, your body is getting more efficient at them. And it's not burning as many calories. And you want it to be. Your app tells you, hey, if you worked out for 40 minutes, you probably burned about 400 calories if it was some kind of cardio. And I'm going to tell you about my rule of thumb here in just a second. But you might not be burning that much anymore. And on a weight loss journey, I will tell you, sometimes it really does come down to, 50 or 100 calories. 100 calories a day that you're burning less means just that little bit, that 0.6, 0.7 on the scale instead of a whole pound. It makes a difference. And it'll feel like a plateau because the scale isn't moving as much as it used to be. And you still feel like, look at all these calories I'm burning. But you might not be burning as many as you used to. I will tell you that the first time you do any kind of relatively new exercise, if it's high heart rate cardio like this, some kind of walking, jogging, running, jumping, low impact cardio too, but something high energy, high intensity like this. Oh, here we go with high knees. Oh, no, we already did that one. Front kicks. Oh my gosh, we're further down on my list than I thought. That's exciting. Nice and big. Oh, still just as hard the second time. Feel that stretch on the back of my legs. Last one on each side. And let's get back to it. Anyways, I was talking about estimating your calories burned. some kind of really high heart rate, like this kind of workout, you're burning about 100 calories in 10 minutes. About. You will burn more with higher intensity. So something where we were moving faster, you would burn a few more calories. Now, the reason I've estimated today, even though we're going over an hour, I've estimated today at about 500 calories. It's because we are moving at a walking pace, even a brisk walking pace. That is a lower intensity than if we were running for an hour and 15 minutes. So I've estimated probably a little bit low, honestly. I always prefer to estimate a little bit low so that you're not disappointed or so that you don't feel like, wow, I burned 1,000 calories and then, try to replace those 1,000, and especially if you're trying to lose weight. I would much rather you underestimate what you're burning so that you can be real accurate, or as accurate as you can be, with what you're eating and still stay on track for your goals. But so some kind of high intensity work, about 100 calories every 10 minutes. Lower intensity work, yoga, some kinds of like body weight, core stuff, any kind of strength training. Even if you get super sweaty doing strength training, lifting dumbbells, things like that, it's burning fewer calories. It's burning about 50 calories and sometimes less. Something real gentle like yoga, Pilates. Yes, you feel it, you feel the burn, but you're burning 50 calories or less in 10 minutes. I will tell you though, that don't be fooled by the number of calories you are burning during your workout. Strength training is so good for you because of what it does after your workout. Your body stays at an elevated burn rate now scientists have done lots of different kinds of research on this, and the numbers go anywhere from like 4 to 48 hours afterwards. I tend to take things like that with a grain of salt. Your body might be more efficient or less efficient. But building muscle takes more calories all the time, or burns more calories every minute of every day. So when you are doing strength training and building up muscle tone, you are helping your body burn at an elevated rate all the time. How cool is that? Right? And here we go with rainbow jacks. Oh, feel that stretch when we bring that knee up to the side. Feels good on my shoulders and my back too. Oh my goodness. Just a couple more. Excellent, right there. And then here we go. Great job. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hoo, hoo, hoo. We are like 3.5 miles into this thing today. How cool is that? 1.5 miles to go. We can do 1.5 miles. That's nothing. We've already gone 3.5. You are doing such a fantastic job. Feeling real good with this pace. Starting to feel that bell curve that I was talking about earlier though, Being up over the top of that hill there. It's starting to get a little bit tougher. We're starting to think, okay, how much longer? Starting to count those minutes. I do that on pretty much every run. There are some runs that I don't, but there are lots of runs, oh my goodness, where all I can do is, how much longer till I get home? How much longer till I can be done with this? And hopefully you're not feeling quite that way just yet. I know. Sometimes I feel that way more in the first half of the run though. Isn't that funny? That getting started, because of all those creaks and groans, sometimes, I'm not even 10 minutes in, and I'm like, oh, when can I be done? But then I get to that high point, that little bell curve, and it starts to feel good. And then I think, oh, okay, I'm doing fine. I can go further. I can do more. When it beeps again, we get to do squats again. We get to do those squats with the side kick. That one felt good, but tough last time. My heart rate is definitely up, 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 up. So doing any kind of balance work like that gets real challenging this far into a workout. But that's part of why we're doing it. You're always up for a good challenge, aren't you? Nice deep breath. Taking a water break anytime you need to. I'm never gonna tell you no, unless you're my kid and it's the middle of the night, and then I might tell you no. Thankfully, my kids are old enough. They can get their own water in the middle of the night. They do not bother me for these things anymore. It's a good age to be, I tell you what. There were some troubled times. The older they get, there's always a little something else to worry about. But the self-sufficiency thing is really nice. When it beeps again, we've still got some time. Those squats with the side kick, gonna feel like a good stretch, good balance. Ooh. Here we go, nice. And there it is. Awesome. Out to the side. Oh goodness, that balance is just as tough as I thought it would be, but the squat feels so good, doesn't it? To stretch out your booty. And here we go, right back to it. Excellent. All right, you guys. Now I will tell you, we do not have a ton more exercises left. We've got just over a handful. We've got 6 of them left. That's not too many. That's starting to feel really manageable, isn't it? You know, sometimes at this point in a workout, when things have gotten tough, I do kind of start to play, well, I hesitate to call them mental games, but I do start to really have to just break it down. You know, that's part of why I have the timer. We talked about this at the beginning. Having the timer, knowing that every 3 minutes I get to do something else. That starts to really help, where I kind of, okay, just do what you're doing right now, and then the next time it beeps, you get to do something else. And then enjoy that while you're doing something else, and then just get through the next interval. You will find that that kind of mental strategy helps you in workouts, certainly, but it kind of helps you in like life too. It's really funny. I went on a really, really long road trip about a year ago now, where it was a long road trip, you know, but I had these mental strategies in place from being a runner, from exercising, from working on that kind of mental endurance. And the trip went a lot better than I thought it might have, because it was always, okay, just get to the next town. Just get to, you know, the next time that we're gonna get gas. Get to the next time that I can stop at Starbucks. Get to the next time where we can have lunch or whatever. Where it was just thinking about what you're doing right now and focusing on the next very small milestone. This will get you lots of places in life. This is especially helpful on like a weight loss journey. You know, it's hard to look at the total amount of weight that you want to lose. Even if it's still kind of a small number, no matter what that number is, it can feel really overwhelming. It can feel very like, oh, I'll never get there. And feeling like you'll never get there is one of the fastest ways to never get there. So having some mental strategies, you know, in your bag of tricks for thinking about, you know, I'm going to get through today. I'm going to get through today making the best choices that I can. And then once you've gotten through today, well, you know, that makes tomorrow even easier. I'm going to get through today when it's tomorrow. And then a couple of days stack up and you're starting to feel like, okay, this is something I can sustain. Here we go with, oh, booty kickers. Oh, I knew that was going to feel just like that. Oh, my legs are starting to stiffen up a little bit. This is what happens in the middle of a long workout like this, where the muscles start to feel like, oh, I'm not sure about that. But you know what? They can still do it. Give it some nice big booty kicks. And then here we go, right back to it. Awesome. And then look at that. Hey, mental strategy right there. We made it through that last interval, talking about how we were going to make it through the next interval. But having little micro goals is what it's called, can really help you. I mean, I know some people are like, okay, you know, I just want to focus on the next 5 pounds. And that's good, but I want to tell you that 5 pounds might take a month. You might need something much, much smaller than that. It's totally okay to have the goal of, I'm going to make it to lunchtime and feel strong. I'm going to drink, you know, all the water that I need to between here and the end of my workday. Little things like that where you can feel successful, they stack on top of each other. You know, thinking about 5 pounds, and again, since I just said it out loud, 5 pounds could be a month or more than a month. If you're losing 1 pound a week, that's 5 weeks. That's a long time to sustain high energy, high motivation. Let yourself aim for something even tinier than that. 5 pounds is a good goal. I mean, especially if your weight loss goal is quite large. 5 pounds is a good goal, but maybe don't make that your smallest goal. Make, this week some kind of a goal. I'm gonna, get my steps in 4 days out of this week, or something like that. That's actually one of the reasons why I like having a Fitbit or some kind of step counter, because it really does give you something to go for every single day, as long as that's motivating for you. Sometimes it can be demotivating on a day where you're stuck in meetings all day or something and you really can't move. That can be super frustrating. And that's why it can be good to have small goals, different kind of small goals on different days. If you know you're going to have a low active day, don't feel bad about not meeting your step goal. Feel good about meeting your water drinking goal. On a low activity day, that's actually a great day to really catch up on your hydration. That's super good for you. That's a great goal. Take it for what it is. It's helping you, maybe even more than getting those steps, because all those steps, 5 miles worth of steps in a day, because that's what we're doing today, by the way. This is 10,000 steps today. That'll dehydrate you. So on a resting or active rest day, make hydration your goal. Boom and boom. Always be thinking of all the different ways that you can help yourself. Drinky bird jacks. Oh, that stretch. Oh my goodness. And hey, check us out. This is one of those ones that's kind of difficult balance. That means that we are down near the end of my list, you guys. When it starts to get tough, you are tougher, and we are making progress. Last one right here and right back to it. We're gonna make some more progress for one more interval. And really only 4 more intervals. Oh, hey, if we've only got 4 more intervals, that means that we are on our last mile. That means right about now, we are just about 4 miles in. How cool is that? Have you gone 4 miles before? Because this might be like time for high fives. Boom. Because that's kind of a big deal. 4 miles, just about 1 hour. That's pretty killer. Killer bee. That feels good. I know, that kind of gave me a little spring in my step. See, this is one of those things, that bell jar thing that we were talking about, the bell curve, rather. Bell jar. That's a book by Sylvia Plath that I had to read in high school. The bell curve, sometimes even on that like downward, I'm not feeling so good, you'll have these little spikes in energy when you realize that you've passed a milestone, or that you are getting closer, or that you've only got a couple of intervals left. You'll get just a little bit more energy that'll really help you keep going. And at this point, oh my gosh, at this point, of course we're going to keep going. You are rocking this thing, and we don't have much time left. I'm going to look at my whiteboard again and see what's coming next, because I am having a hard time finding my place on it. When it beeps, we've gotten to that point in the workout. When it beeps again, we're going to do double knees. Speaking of balance work, that's the one where hands go up overhead again. One knee comes up towards your hands 2 times in a row, and then we switch. I'm gonna have a bruise on my elbow today after hitting this wall so many times. I joke about how, I'm just standing in one place in my living room. I really have been kind of moving all around. I've run into the wall a couple times. I know I've gone this way and that way a couple of times. Hopefully you've got just enough space in your house that even if you're trying to watch the screen and pay attention to the time and pay attention to the beeper and everything, hopefully you've had some space to be able to walk around a little bit. Again, that's good for your muscles to be able to move around even just a little bit of forward or even backwards. I mean, if you're coordinated enough for that, it's real good for your muscles to be able to kind of change things up. Just like we were talking about with that repetitive stress. Anything that you can do to kind of break up the movement and keep your body nice and supple and strong. Double knees, boom and boom, boom and boom. Excellent job. Couple of these. This is bringing my heart rate up, just like it does when we do low impact cardio workouts. We're gonna do one more on each side. There and there, and then right back to it. Excellent. This WOG is looking super strong still. We do not have a lot more time. We do not have, well, we don't have any more miles. No more whole miles left. We've probably only got a little bit over half a mile left. Do you know what a half a mile is from your house? Can you picture that? I've been running long enough. I don't know if you've ever measured distances from your house, but I've been running long enough now for enough years that I know exactly where a half a mile is in just about every direction outside of my house. I can totally picture where I would be a half a mile from my house, half a mile from finished. And I will tell you that it's really close. A half a mile, even though we've been going a long time, even though I know this is getting tough and you're getting tired, a half a mile is not that far. We are making such good progress today, and you are doing such a great job. When it beeps the next time, I'm gonna look right now. Oh, it's those box steps. Oh my goodness. Okay, that was hard enough the first time. Wish me luck on this. The second time. If you have done aerobics before, you probably know how to do this much better than me. It's very tricky to teach an old dog new tricks, and that box step, for whatever reason, is a very new trick to me. I did not grow up doing a lot of athletic things. I was active in the way that, well, in the way that kids used to be before video games came into being. You know, I was outside most days. I knew how to ride a bike. I would walk around the neighborhood, that kind of thing. But I never took like dance lessons. I played a couple of sports, was not good at any of them by any stretch. So I did not have a whole lot of coordination for this kind of thing. I wanted to take dancing lessons, but I suspect, based on all of the other things that I did in my life, that my parents were like, oh, that might not be a good idea. that might not be something you excel at. Running into the wall though, I am getting pretty good at that today. So the box step is the one where we step forward, out to the side, and then back the other direction. So we'll do a couple in each direction. Awesome. Feeling so good, feeling so strong. Keeping up that nice pace. And here we go. Forward, forward, back and back. Forward, forward, back and back. Couple of times. Oh, that lateral motion feels so good on my hips. How about yours? Back and back. And then last one around when we come back right here. We're right back to it. Excellent. Oh, I started with a little jog. I did not mean to go quite that fast. Whew, I know. Sometimes I get really enthusiastic and I'm not thinking. But I tell you what, speaking of really enthusiastic, you know what we've got coming up? 2 more exercises. So the next time it beeps, here's something to look forward to, our little mental endurance. The next time it beeps, we're gonna do side shuffles, really get some nice lateral motion. At this point in time, my legs have been going forward and back more than enough that it's gonna feel really good to spread out and stretch out a little bit. That's actually one of the best, nicest stretches that you can do for yourself after a walk or jog or run. I know sometimes we think about stretching in the same direction that we've been going. You know, you reach down to touch your toes or you pull your leg up behind you. Those are good stretches. You know, you're working on the muscles that have been working. But it's also a really good idea to do some wider leg stretches that'll really help get all those helper muscles feeling a little bit less tense. I will make sure that I link to a really nice, thorough cool down stretching video for you. I've got a couple of them. I like to do stretching videos every once in a while for different kinds of workouts. You know, sometimes you've only got time for about 2-3 minutes of stretching, and sometimes you've got a little bit more time to like cool down, get the sweat off of you, drink some more water, maybe have a little snack. This is a good day for that sort of activity afterwards. Have a nice enjoyable stretch and make sure that you get some calories as soon as you can. Sometimes you might not feel hungry, your stomach might not feel up for it because we've had such a good, long, tough workout. But as soon as you can, after you've cooled down a little bit, it's a good idea to take in some calories and help your body start repairing and making those adaptations that we are working for right now. So when it beeps again, you guys, I'm kind of scooting over to the side here, trying not to hit the wall. But when it beeps again, we're going to be ready for those side shuffles. Side shuffles are one of my favorite warm-up activities, but I will tell you that I'm feeling pretty warm. How about you? I've been sweating for a while now. This becomes that point in the workout where you're like, oh goodness, I do not smell good anymore. I have a friend slash client who talks about that by the end of our workout. Here we go with side shuffles. You can even get your hands into it a little bit. But she rates her workouts by how bad she smells afterwards. I tend to do that too, actually. And here's our last one. And you guys, hey. Speaking of last one, do you know what's coming next? What's coming next is the very last exercise on my list. So here's what this means for us. We're going to get through this interval right here. We're going to do those flying fast ups. That was that balance move. Then I'm going to challenge you to take that last, 2.5 minutes after we do the flying fast ups. I'm assuming that we're doing somewhere between 10 and 30 seconds on each of these exercises. Some of them might be a little bit more. Some of them might be a little bit less. Well, probably not less than 10 seconds. But anyway, I'm going to challenge you to take that last 2-ish minutes at your fastest pace. What do you think? You ready to finish strong? I'm thinking about pulling it all the way up to a full-on joggity jog, not just a wog, but a jog. If you are up for the challenge, that is awesome. If you are up for maybe just a little bit more brisk than this, that's excellent also. If you are hanging on for dear life and want to call that last 3 minutes a little bit of a cool down, that's totally okay too. You guys, this has been a challenge today, and you have done it. This is really cool. I hope you take the time, honestly, after every workout, not just these really long ones. It's easier to pat yourself on the back after a really long workout like this one. But you know what? If you squeezed 5 minutes of exercise into an otherwise really horrifically busy day, or you did something that was a little bit gentle on a day when you didn't feel like doing anything, I hope you congratulate yourself for those victories too. It's a big deal. Every time you exercise, you're doing something nice for your body. It's a gift for your body. This is where we started. Well, an hour ago, we started on this conversation. It's not just about the calories you burn. Exercise is a gift that you give yourself. It's time where you get to focus on you, where you get to focus on improving yourself, where you get to think about how awesome you are, because you are, you know that. This is a gift that you give yourself, making time to exercise as often as you can. I know I say sometimes, oh, you're exercising every day. It's not always practical every single day, especially on a workout like this. And here we go, flying fast ups. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, I'm not balancing very well. I'm tapping my toe every time. And then let's go ahead and switch sides. Whew, doggies. Okay, I'm about to say it, my favorite thing. We're gonna get right back to it at whatever pace you can do. I'm picking it up to a little joggity jog. But here's my favorite thing. I love saying this. Seriously, love saying this. The next time it beeps is the last time it's gonna beep. This is it. There are no surprises. If you do my other workouts, I know you're thinking, okay, now she's got a finisher. No, this is the finisher. We are finishing strong. The next time it beeps is the very last time that it's going to beep. And as promised, I will have a really nice stretch for you on screen, something luxurious. I'm thinking of a couple of different videos that I have that might feel like a good long stretch I'll link at least one of them. I've got like a really nice full body stretch. I think it's like 20 minutes or something, where it just feels really nice. You are doing such a great job. Now I know that a little over 2 minutes might be a long time to really sustain this whole jog. It is totally okay if you're doing brisk or semi-brisk walking, or like we said, if you're just hanging on for dear life and doing it a bit as a cool down, that's okay too. I want you to finish feeling mentally strong. Whatever pace you're able to do right now isn't nearly as big of a deal as the fact that you've been able to do this whole workout. You are such a rock star. Take some time while you're doing the stretches. Hopefully you have time for a good luxurious stretch after this workout. But take some time to really congratulate yourself on what a great job you did today. Even if you've gone 5 miles before, even if you've gone 10 miles or more before, this was a victory today. And I am super proud of you. Really thinking about your breath. Whew. Feeling easy, but pushing it. It's a weird place to be, I know. It's a different kind of pace where you're finishing strong, but you're still keeping it within your grasp. I don't want you to finish gasping. When it beeps, I want you to still be on your feet, able to put your hands in the air and cheer for yourself. Good job. Nice and gentle. Letting your arms just roll. Letting your feet just roll. Such a good job. And that was it. Awesome. The very last time that it's going to beep today. I really, really hope that A, you congratulate yourself right now. Congratulations. And I really hope that you had a good time with today's workout. If you did, I would love it if you would give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends so they can feel good too. Thank you so much for working out with me. I'll see you next time.